I got my mic all ready to go.
Whether it makes you laugh, cry, scream, or fly, there's a song for every emotion. We're Mike and Priya, and we talk about the songs that make up the soundtrack to your life. Because life is in the lyrics.
Play that music.
Play that music, white boy.
Funky boy, right? Play that funky music, white boy. That's it. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Welcome to Life is in the Lyrics, folks. You're listening to me, Priya, and my bestie, Mike.
Yes. Bestie, messy bestie. That's us.
Well, yeah, when you showed me your latest videos.
Yes, yeah. I'm trying to get more comfortable being on camera because I know you are used to it because you're, TV star and you do commercials and all those things.
Big TV star. I go to all the conventions and sign hundreds and thousands of autographs.
Well, you're not that big of a star. No, but you've been in front of the camera a lot.
A long time.
I have not. And also, although we are going to talk about something, I don't like being a center of attention. So
is that so?
I know. We'll get into that in a minute. But back to me being on camera.
Yeah.
I thought I'd set up the camera and just do stuff.
Right.
And record myself.
Yeah. To get comfortable because you're a little awkward, you think.
Yeah, because I'm a little shy.
You're a little shy.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a little shy, you say.
Yeah.
Do you know what shy means?
I do know what shy means. But it's like what's in my head.
Right?
Right? We've talked about how I think, and I'm pretty sure I am, an introverted extrovert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's about that.
Right.
So I'm trying to be a little more extroverted extrovert.
My point being that you spent today trying to get comfortable in front of the camera, and within 4.5 seconds, you were quite comfortable in front of that camera.
I was alone. Well,
Yeah?
with Riva.
Yes.
Well, maybe we'll post a few of those little snippets.
We
and
have to.
then people can let us know
We
what
got to
they
see
think.
that wiggle. My niece, when she was like 4, if you would say wiggle, wiggle, she would turn her butt to you and just wiggle her butt.
Oh my God, really?
And Mike does a good wiggle, wiggle
yeah.
in these videos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, was that me or you?
That was me. That was some kind
Okay.
of alarm on my
Let's turn that off. shall we?
my computer. So we just listened to a new song that I played for Mike.
Yes.
Mike, who did you think that song was by?
I thought initially it was by Gracie Abrams.
Right.
And then I guessed Aubrey Hober.
Right.
And then I guessed Sabrina Carpenter because I know you love her.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if she sounds like Sabrina Carpenter
No.
because I don't know Sabrina's voice.
Yeah, there it is. I was waiting for you to say Sabrina.
I did that purposely.
Sabrina has a very high, like a very almost falsetto sounding voice at times.
Okay,
Her
all right.
speaking voice is very low though.
Oh, all right.
Very low.
Very
husky.
low.
It's quite husky.
Oh.
And then she sings and she's like quite pretty voice. By the way, she just brought out Madonna to play with her on her second weekend of headlining Coachella. Did you know that?
Oh, well, I'm not surprised because there was a lot of chatter online that Madonna was going to show up at Coachella and do something
Yeah.
because she's about to release a new album.
She is.
Confessions on the Dance Floor 2 or
Part
Confessions
2.
2.
Yeah. Anyways, this song, I was surprised. I thought you would guess Chapel Roan.
Oh, Chapel Rowan. Right.
It gave me so much Chapel Roan vibes. It sounded like the subway.
Huh.
And a lot of her songs. And her
Okay.
voice is very distinctive, Chapel Roan's. This was Olivia Rodrigo's new song, Drop
Oh.
Dead.
Oh, really? Wow, she really sounds like Gracie Abrams.
She doesn't sound like herself. What I'm used to on
Right.
her songs. I found Gracie an interesting comparison that you said, but I really thought, oh my God, is this Chapel Roan? Or is she sort of, I don't know, like feeling like she likes that
Right.
vibe? And because her voice is doing things here that she doesn't normally do. So if you haven't listened to the new single Drop Dead by Olivia Rodrigo, check it out and let us know who you think she sounds like.
Maybe we'll put a link in our episode.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll
Okay.
do that. What's going on
Wow.
with you, Mike?
Well, we've had quite a week, haven't
We've
we?
had quite a week, haven't we?
So this week, my office hosted a karaoke party.
Yes, you talked about that in a previous episode, saying it was going to happen.
Yeah. And you were begging me to come.
I
and
did
I
not.
said,
That is not true. I
You
did not
did.
beg you to come.
yes, you did.
I would like
And
proof
I
of
said,
that.
no. You want receipts?
I asked if I could come. I think I did once say, can I come? And you were like, no. I don't even know if I actually asked, but continue your
Little
story.
listeners, how often do we talk about karaoke and how excited does Priya get when we talk about it?
Yes, that is all true.
Okay. So those little listeners that believe me that Priya did bag, you let us know. We'll do a poll. We'll put a poll up. How many of our little listeners think that Priya begged to come to my karaoke party?
Down on my knees, won't you take me there?
Did you sing that song?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
With your boss.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Who was singing it as we arrived, if you remember, right?
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So it was a bit of a blur because, yes, Priya did come to karaoke.
Mike invited me.
I did.
Eventually.
Yes. And it was a fun, what did you think?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't certain because I don't really know your staff. Like, it's a whole department. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if I was going to know anybody. And it's one thing to do karaoke in a public bar with a bunch of strangers, but it's completely different to do it in a big space where everybody knows each other except for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, should I come to this?
Yes.
People are going to be bringing their partners, and then Mike's going to be bringing me. And then you made that comment about, I warned everybody it's going to turn into the Priya show.
No.
You did?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did. I have the proof.
Okay. All right. I might have said that. Yes. Because when you were texting me earlier in the day saying, I don't know if I'm going to come, I had already had people telling me that they listened to our podcast and that they were excited to meet you.
Oh, that's sweet. You didn't say that part. But in advance, you did say, I've already told people to prepare for the Priya show.
Okay, so that's in text. So
Yes.
I did say that, I guess.
Yes. Yes, you did.
And was it the Priya show?
Priya was a good
Participant?
duet partner.
Yes.
I promised.
How many songs did you sing?
Well, first of all, I want to say I promised you that I would only do duets and I would not turn it into the Priya solo show.
Right.
And did I live up to my word, Mike?
You did. Yes,
Thank
you
you
did.
very
There was
much.
no Priya solos.
No, but I did go around saying, so what are you going to sing? And then they would say, oh, I'm not sure of this. Well, if you want to do a duet.
Did you really?
Oh
my God. I was wondering how you ended up getting duets with everyone. I was like, wow, they really are like lining up to do a duet with
Well,
Priya.
when I did Pink Pony Club, and I was saying to the guy who knew, he said, I've been here so many times, I know how to work the system. So he became the guy who was entering all the songs into the queue.
Right.
And so I said, oh, put Pink Pony Club in for me. And he said, oh, I was going to do that. And I said, we can do it together. So that one just happened together. But then there was another girl who was uncertain about what to sing. And we had talked about it. And she was like, oh, I don't know, because I usually do hip hop or this or that. And then I said, well, if you want to do a duet. And then I suggested The Boy Is Mine.
Right.
So
that was hard, though.
That was a hard one.
That was a tough song to sing.
It is. Because it starts off with them talking to each other. And I'm like, I don't want this part of the song.
Also, the cadence of the song is very odd, I find. Anyways, for a karaoke.
Yeah.
But anyways, was it fun?
It was so much fun.
Yes.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
We had a good time. And the videos will show that we had a good time.
There'll be a few clips maybe to string them together.
Most people, when they sang, they just sang like normal people, Mike. What did we do?
We kind of put a performance on.
There were stairs, and we used those stairs to our advantage.
We did. Yeah.
But your boss did say, I want you to start coming around the stairs and put on a show. And so we did.
And so we did. We take direction well.
It's
It's true. Yeah, we do.
It was a lot of fun. So thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, and it was a fun thing to do on a Thursday night?
Thursday night. Yeah. Cool. So listen, I was having this idea about how it would be super fun. We've talked a lot about we'll do one music related thing a month or whatever, or go see something. And then I thought, because karaoke is such a ridiculously fun time, we should do like once every couple of months, just organize an karaoke night and have a different theme. Like we could do musical theater. We could do songs about sex. Because, there's so many songs that have sex in the title. Like, we could just do a different theme.
Okay.
And it would be really a fun way to grab a bunch of random people together.
Yeah. Okay.
So, little listeners, if you are up for it,
stay tuned.
We might be posting some of that, and hopefully some of you guys can join us. Jason, calling all Jasons.
Conrad.
Conrad, for sure. For sure. Yes.
Yeah.
The only time Conrad and I ever keep in touch, we just exchange music tracks
Oh,
on
really?
text.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's now become an ongoing joke.
Okay. All right. Well, that was the big thing of this week. What about you?
No, I think that was the big thing for me too. I was very excited about going, but also a little hesitant. And then as soon as I got there, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And it was.
And where was it? We
It
should
was at,
promote that place because it's great.
great place. Bathurst local, owned by a friend of a friend. So my former roommate, Nick, shout out to Nick. His friends own that bar, and it is also a bottle shop. So it's a really cool place. It's a bottle shop / karaoke place where they have multiple rooms in that building.
Yeah.
And they specialize in sake and natural wine,
Oh, okay.
which is a very interesting combination.
Yeah, that bottle of sake was huge.
Oh my God, it was almost like a magnum.
Yeah, well, that was fun. Okay, so anything else? Got anything else to report?
Well, I do want to say something,
Okay.
which is we should congratulate our very own Mike because he is being recognized in his
God.
place of work
Jeez.
with a very cool award.
Okay.
Which was announced during that
Yes,
karaoke party.
it was,
Did
yeah.
you know that already? Or?
I did know that I got the award,
Okay.
or that the nomination went through. So where I work, every year there's a series of awards, and your colleagues will write in and put your nomination together and send it in. They'll nominate you. And I got nominated, and I found out that afternoon that I am going to get the award.
Yeah,
so it was very
that's
nice.
so cool.
Yeah, well,
Woo!
thank you. Yeah.
Put on the cheers. There you go. Yeah. But I mean, you're being very humble. But how many people? What was the pool?
I think I was a bit drunk when I told you what the pool was. I have no idea.
Oh.
There's a lot of people that work in my company, so
Right.
I don't know how many people get nominated. We don't get told any of those sorts of
Right,
things.
right.
So, but it's apparently very competitive.
Yeah.
And
You were
yes,
nominated before.
I was nominated before, and
Yeah.
and I got a
No Susan Lucci here. He won on the second time, bitches.
yeah.
That's right.
It is. It's a funny thing because on the one hand, you get nominated for being outstanding. It's an outstanding employee award, and it's a weird thing because you just try and do your best in your job.
Right.
And I make a lot of mistakes. I certainly am not perfect, and I cringe thinking back at some of the things that I've done.
Do you ruminate on those, Mike?
I do. I ruminate a lot. But so it's kind of weird because I feel like I don't know if I'm worthy of this award. But then on the other hand, I really do appreciate that my colleagues, my peers, they
Yeah.
think enough to nominate me and submit that. And I know it's a lot of work to put the nomination together. A colleague of mine told me that the nomination package was 11 pages long.
Oh my.
Yeah. That's 11 pages of talking about why I'm deserving of
Yeah.
this award. I would love to see it.
Oh, me too. Like, because do they have to gather testimonials from a bunch of people? Is there like a
Yeah.
minimum number?
I don't know.
That's really
I don't know,
interesting.
I did see the nomination package last year, and I would cried at my desk when I read it. It was really very, very sweet. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
So yes.
Well,
So,
congratulations.
thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool thing to announce, and I knew that you wouldn't do it for yourself.
Yeah.
I got your back.
Oh, thank you. You are a bestie.
I try. I try.
All right. Well, anything else before we head into this episode?
No, let's get on to it
Let's
because
get onto it.
we are talking about our era.
Yes.
This week we are going back to the 80s, folks. The best and worst era in music, depending on, when you were born.
It was the best.
Was it the best times?
Oh,
or the
yeah,
worst?
yeah. Yeah, it totally was. And in preparation for this episode, I've been listening to 80s music.
Oh.
And man, there's a lot of 80s music that I forgot about.
You made a comment about my pants today.
Yes, you've got your Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation pants.
Yes. And that's actually was one of the videos, because we're talking specifically about music videos
Right.
from the 80s, because that was the era, the birth of
Right.
the music video. And Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation was definitely an outstanding one.
That's on your list. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember. A lot of her videos, though, to me, were kind of the same, weren't they?
I think maybe a
Her
lot
and
of
kind
the
of
other
like
ones,
a
but Rhythm Nation,
military sort of.
I think that was the only one like that.
Was it? Oh,
I
okay.
think so.
All right.
But it was like choreography was so precise.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that because at that time I was a cheerleader.
Were you head cheerleader?
No,
Go team.
not at all. But I remember like we had to have very specific stiff movements and
Can you
watching
do a
that.
few of those? I mean, the little listeners can't see them, but
Well,
I'd love
maybe
to
we'll
see
take
them.
a little video and I'll do something after. Like, but very like,
Go team.
yes, like that. And her choreography in that was so spot on. Like every background dancer was exactly in time, stiff, curt movements. It was pretty incredible. I could not dance like that. That's for sure.
Oh no.
No, but I could do quick movements like that. I just can't. I'm not good at choreography.
Oh, me
I'm
either.
terrible, actually.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Oh.
Remember when we won't go there because we'll get into an argument.
No, tell me. Let's argue. Let's get it.
We talked about
Let's
this
do it.
before. Do you remember when we took dance lessons?
Yes, I do. What are you going to say about that?
Because my recollection is we took them with
Scott and Kelsey,
No, you
And?
said Scott and Kelsey, but it wasn't Scott and Kelsey. It was
my friend Hema,
Hema.
and a friend of hers, and Scott and Kelsey.
They weren't there. I'm telling you, they were not there. It was just the four of us. This is why I didn't want. That's why I was like cutting it off, because you have it in your head that we did it with Scott and Kelsey. I've never done anything with Scott and Kelsey. Never done any dance.
Okay. It's possible. And the only way to know the truth about that is for me to ask Kelsey.
Okay, all
So
right.
I will ask her. But now I'm wondering, now you're making me second guess myself.
Yeah,
Anyways, let's move on, folks.
So anyways, so I know that I'm bad at choreography because when we were in that course, that fun course, I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't follow anything. I was just goofing around. I kept getting into trouble, remember?
Yes. Don't you remember we had that weird teacher? Like the male teacher was kind of weird. Gary or something was his name.
I don't know. I
He
can't
had
remember his
curly
name.
hair. He was older, right?
Yeah.
And I know that Scott and Kelsey were there because Scott once left me a voice message pretending he was Gary because he can do. Scott actually is a friend of mine who you guys have recently heard was on the podcast. He's an actor and a voice actor and a musician. He's on the show from. So anyways, he left me a voice message pretending to be Gary. So now I know that I was correct.
Well, you're gonna have to ask and see what
I will.
Kelsey says because I'm.
And then I can just say I told you so.
Yeah. Tune in, little
And
listeners.
I will relish it.
Yeah. Well, okay. So listen, let's get into this episode and talk about these videos
Yeah.
because the thing about the 80s was that the video kind of like the era of videos, it came out in like what, 81? That's when MTV.
Oh, didn't you do that in your extensive research?
We talked about this in another episode, but I can't remember. But yeah, Video Killed a Radio Star was the first video.
Was that the very first?
That was the very first video for MTV.
Huh.
But there were promotional films made of artists, but there was no channel or wide distribution of these clips of artists performing.
Right.
The use of those clips were usually used for media or, like a news clip. The Beatles have arrived and
Right.
that sort of thing. But there was no video channel. There was no music
Right.
video per se. There were videos of bands performing.
Okay. I'm going to look up when MTV launched. Yes, 1981.
1981. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool how in 81, when MTV decided that they were going to create a channel just for videos,
Yeah.
that had such a huge ripple effect. Because when you think about it, and when you do the research, the whole music video genre, like they went from people doing home videos with video cameras and these kind of flat performances to these, big productions like Thriller,
Yes.
where they had, like storylines and
an
plot lines.
extended song too. They went way beyond the length of the actual song for that.
What was that, like 14 minutes or something
like that?
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I just looked up what MTV stands for because my brain.
Music television?
Yeah. It's pretty obvious.
Okay.
But I had to look it up. I was like, MTV. And it makes complete sense, right? Because what...
Mm-hmm.
Just continue.
Where are the crickets? Where are the crickets?
Oh, I had nothing to say.
Yeah. So okay. So go ahead. What do you have to say?
Well, I didn't have anything to say about that. I was just thinking how with the launch of that at the beginning, we just people were putting out like recordings of themselves performing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I wish I had done a little more research because I actually did come across this at one point and I didn't write it down. There was a point where they realized that doing actual music videos above and beyond just filming yourself playing the song could generate more money and, interest in your music. And then it just exploded.
And you don't remember when that...
I don't remember where I saw that because I was looking at all sorts of different sites and I was looking at like best 80s videos, worst 80s videos, coolest, most expensive. Like I was looking at all sorts of articles. So I didn't really take down that little bit of information.
And do you remember if that factoid was after MTV had launched or before?
Oh, definitely after.
Oh, okay.
Definitely after.
So that's kind of obvious though, right? I mean, if MTV, if they started creating these channels, these television channels where they were dedicated to videos, or not even channels, like shows. Remember Friday night videos?
Yeah. We've talked about Electric Circus.
Electric Circus, yeah. Like
I heard a rumor that might come back.
Oh.
With Nelly Furtado.
Oh, wow.
Let me just see that.
Rumor has it.
Did I hear that? Yeah, with Nelly Furtado.
Wow. So she's going to be the host?
It says all-star producer Boy Wonder. Oh, I see. Boy Wonder, but the way it's spelled is BOI and then WONDA. Never mind.
MTV, what does that stand for?
Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I know, sometimes I feel so stupid.
Boy Wonder?
So they have teamed up on the oh, never mind.
What?
It's a single.
Okay.
It's a music single.
All right. Well, one of the articles, I went onto this website called Pop Matters, and they had an article called 1980s Music Videos That Aged Well. And so this author...
I mean, I think there's a lot that have aged well.
A lot.
A very lot. I'm already getting mad if he's only saying that there were only a few.
Well, Dennis Shin...
How dare you, Dennis?
Wait. He selected a few, but I like the way he kind of like introduces the article because one of the things he says is, the dawning of the artistic platform was an exciting time for all involved, musicians, video directors, and artists, diving headfirst into a new medium with little in the way of definitive standards because there weren't any other, like there wasn't any threshold to... go by because they were
making
video
up
clips. They were making
the genre.
Yeah. He goes on to say, working against the tabula rasa and with low barriers to entry, the possibilities were endless. As we peer over a mine shaft of achieved content, we find a lot of quality work that held up well and others that, you be the judge. There are a number of items that factor into a video's obsolescence. And he starts with technology. Many of the earliest music videos from the 70s and 80s were promotional stock, shot mainly on film, giving them a grainy but consistent look that pretty much ages at the same rate across the board. They were often straight-ahead clips of the band performing or assuming characters. We'll give these a pass. However, as cable TV and video dance clubs proliferated, a torrent of opportunities for enterprising directors and film students opened up, and many of these were recorded on video cameras, giving many early videos a bright, washed-out look. Couple that with some cheap DIY effects, and you have a recipe for chaos. And I'm reading that recipe for chaos as like this is awesome. It's a recipe for chaos.
Oh, so like then, good chaos.
Yeah.
Not like nonsense stuff.
No.
Okay.
So he goes on and his list is pretty interesting because there were some that I don't recognize at all. Fade to Grey by Visage from 1980.
No.
When I watched the video, I was like, oh, I think I might remember this song, like vague memory of it, but it's not something that lasted. But, another one was the ELO and Olivia Newton-John's Xanadu.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that video?
I don't remember the video so much. I remember the movie.
Okay. So I don't
roller
know if
skates. She was riding around on roller skates in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So and this video, I don't think I'd ever seen it. This is from 1980. And oh my God, it is just an explosion of stimulation.
Oh boy.
There's a whole lot going on.
It must be so cheesy though. Because the movie was kind of cheesy.
Yes.
In the best way.
Yeah. And then he goes on. There's a whole list of them. But I thought, oh, that's really neat to take the angle. Okay, well, what kinds of videos from the 80s have kind of like, from this point of view, lasting impact? They've aged well. And I hadn't really thought about that because in my head, I was thinking, oh, what are the videos I remember? Like, Aha.
Right. Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that was
groundbreaking.
So groundbreaking to me.
A lot of the videos actually that I do remember are the groundbreaking ones, like that, like Thriller that you've already said. And then, like there were some by Madonna where she just, well, first of all,
she was a boundary pusher.
She was a boundary pusher. And then when I think boundary pusher, I also think Duran Duran because they had 2 videos that showed bare breasts. And they were not shown. We've talked about this before. They were not shown in the US. They were shown in the UK, I believe. But I did see them.
No,
so I think they were shown after midnight.
Yes.
Right?
They were allowed to go on after midnight.
And for all the pervs out there who are like, I want to see those videos, I will tell you the name of those songs. It was The Chauffeur and Girls on Film. Great song.
2 minutes later, Girls on Film.
He only lasts 2 minutes, huh?
Girls on Film.
Is that what they say? 2 minutes later?
Or something like that. I don't know. What do I know?
Anyways, they were one of the bands I think that you would always wait for their video drop.
Yeah.
Because they always did something very cool. Just like Michael Jackson. All his videos were very big. Beat It. Then when he did he did Ebony and Ivory with Paul McCartney. And he did another one with The Girl Is Mine.
Yeah.
So he always had, which featured his sister as the object of their affection.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
are you serious?
Yeah.
That is weird. Although not so much for the Jackson family. Did you watch the Thriller video in preparation for this?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I watched it and it's so cheesy. Oh my God.
But it's also kind of like the beginning of the term meta because it is very meta. It's him watching a movie with his girlfriend. In the movie he's watching, there's a werewolf theme. And then all of a sudden, he and the girlfriend are walking home. And she's like, oh, that was so scary. And he starts turning into a werewolf. So
he doesn't turn into a werewolf. He turns into the Walking Dead.
Right. Like, like a zombie.
Yeah, in the movie, he turns into the
a werewolf. Right.
Yes.
Okay, but it was very...
But at the end of the video, with Vincent Price's laugh, when he turns his head, he's got the
yellow eyes.
Yes, of the werewolf.
Yeah, you've got the eyes of an
stranger.
Stranger. There were some bad songs in the 80s.
I thought you were going to say Eye of the Tiger.
I know that it could go that way too.
Yeah. There are a lot of. We'll do an episode on eyes.
Just eyes. Yeah. So I found this great article by Rolling Stone that is called "The Most Awesomely 1980s Music Videos," and they separated into like really cool categories, and it made me think like some of the things that we probably don't really consider when we're looking at videos, but a lot of fashion. Trends came straight from those videos. Madonna, perfect example. Her layered upon layered tulle skirts and all the
lace gloves.
The lace gloves and the layers of bracelets and the cross on the beads and the cross. What do you call that? Like a rosary. And then Cyndi Lauper, very much her own style, which was kind of like Madonna's, but different. Do you remember this video, Physical, by Olivia Newton-John?
All right, let's get physical. The leotards and the leg warmers.
And the really short gamin, they called it, or gamine haircut, like the really small pixie cut. Also with
She had a small pixie cut in that?
oh God, I got a picture of it right here.
Oh, wow, yeah.
With the
headband?
headband.
Yeah, that's right.
Very Jane Fonda, right? And Madonna, she was kind of, I feel, I can't say the first because Cher, but Madonna changed her look so many times and so drastically. Remember Papa Don't Preach? That video where she also cut all her hair off, and then Like a Prayer, where she had the red hair, really auburn red
She had
hair.
dark hair.
It was dark auburn, like
It
a
was
red.
brown, because I watched that video as well. You might be mistaking the fire in the background, the crosses that were on fire for the red.
No, but her hair looked sort of like a maybe it's the way the whole video looks.
Yeah.
But it does. She just really changed her fashion, and people changed their fashion to be like Madonna.
Right. Yeah. She was. Yeah, that was one of the things I was thinking about was the fashion, the impact of these music videos on the fashion world, and I was trying to figure out. I was trying to do some research to figure out what was more influential, the music videos on the fashion or the fashion on the music videos. Like, were there fashion trends that were them promoted by these musicians that then made them popular, or were the musicians creating their own fashion trends that the fashion houses were then adopting and making popular?
Oh, that is a good question, and we would have to ask Anna Wintour about that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's, the fashion is so strange the way it trickles down into the mainstream.
As we learned on Devil Wears Prada.
Exactly. And as we'll learn again
when
it comes back in theaters, the second one comes back. But we have talked about that on the podcast before too, about musicians influencing fashion trends.
Have we talked about that?
We have.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not as a whole episode, but definitely we talked about it. And I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think they are often obviously at fashion shows, so they see things like a year ahead of, like we're now seeing probably stuff for winter of 2026 at the fashion shows, but they're always like a season or two ahead.
Do you really think that that's well, maybe now? I don't know. I don't think that back then they were like, I don't think that Madonna and her lace glove and, her that kind of look was influenced by anything in the fashion houses. I think that she
created it all her own.
Well, not created it, but she was probably dressing the way her peers were in the underground clubs of New York when she was, 18, 19, 20. And then she became a star and then it became popular. I don't think I would be surprised. But then she does the Blonde Ambition tour and she has Jean-Paul Gaultier who creates all of the costumes.
Breast thingies.
Yeah, he created all the costumes for that tour, and then that influenced. So it's a bit mixed, but I think the early days, especially in the early '80s, when videos were just coming in were just coming in, people didn't really have so much access to what their idols were wearing.
Yeah, and Madonna's style was that way outside of her videos. It was Borderline and Lucky Star that were her first singles where the videos reflected the way she dressed on stage. But I think that you're right in terms of she came from a subculture, like an underground culture where all the cool shit happens. And then but the fashion does come from those places. And then it goes up to the elite and then trickles back down into the mainstream. So it's almost like,
You.
Well,
we
I
don't
watched
need
Devil Wears
Anna.
Prada. But I mean, we did talk about this because even when I look it up, I see articles that I have already clicked on before. Do you know what when you search something and it shows you, oh yeah, you've already looked at this article. So there is that sort of ebb and flow of how the two influence one another.
Yeah. And then there's the whole era in the 80s, probably mid to late 80s, when like George Michael, and he had all those supermodels in his video. What was that video?
Yeah, that was not Faith. It was his Freedom.
Freedom.
The Freedom video with all 5 of
Yeah.
the top
Yeah.
supermodels.
So then I think that's also another example of where fashion and these music, the fashion and video and music kind of
Intersect.
like intersect and
Yeah.
become synonymous with one
But
another.
I think that goes back from ever. Like you think of all the musicians who have dated models.
Yeah, again, but we're talking about videos, right?
I know.
So that's why I'm saying like that might be the case for the musician, but in terms of the audience having access, that kind of immediate access to
But
those
those girls
intersections.
in that video were not really. Remember, one of them was in a bathtub. Like there weren't that many.
No, but my point isn't that
What's
what
your
they were.
point, Mike?
If you'd shut your cake hole and let me finish, that would be great.
Oh boy.
My point is about how fashion and music videos intersect. And before we had music videos, the public wouldn't have made those connections. They might have seen a photo of Mick Jagger and Jerry Hall, but they wouldn't have seen videos and seen that kind of the way the fashion world and the music world intersect in that kind of way. So I could be
Okay.
totally wrong, but I think like the mass consumption of music and pop icons through music videos, it permeates through so many different ways.
Permeates.
Yes.
Okay, it permeates. I think my point was that
Percolates.
you think of all the musicians who have dated models. It's like those two worlds have always intersected.
Yes.
Like David Bowie and Iman, for example. He must have been circulating in that industry. Like they are at all those fashion shows. So there is an ebb and flow. So yes, it creeps into their videos, but then it also goes the other way, is my point.
Yeah.
Okay, can we
Got
agree
your
to
points.
disagree?
Yeah. Fine.
Let's move on. Also, how did we get to talking all about fashion?
No, I think it was because I was thinking about how, like, whether one influenced the other more,
Right.
and I couldn't really find anything definitive on that.
Yeah, I do think that I think it's a chicken and egg.
Yeah.
I think it's a chicken and egg. How did the chicken
Cross
get
the road.
here?
Oh.
No, if there was no egg. But how did the egg get here if there was no chicken to lay it?
Okay. This is not a let's get high and,
Oh,
that would be something that you could do.
yes, that would be a good road to go down.
All right. Well, let's go in through some of these other videos.
Yeah,
So you brought up Madonna in Like a Prayer.
I did.
And I have to say, did you watch the video before this episode?
No.
You haven't, did you watch any videos or did you just do research?
Do you know,
and
Mike, this
write
is
words?
why we make a really good team.
Yeah.
Because even when you said you listened to 80s music in preparation for this, I'm like, that's a fucking great idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
And no, I did not.
No, you didn't. Okay. Well, I did. And I don't.
Black Jesus. I do remember that.
He was a saint.
Oh, he wasn't Jesus?
No, he was not.
Oh,
Although Jesus wasn't white anyway.
we
so-
all know that. Don't we? Okay.
So I don't know if this is because I know you so well and I've
Oh,
seen you
boy.
perform this song so
Okay.
many times, but watching that video,
Yeah.
I just could see you in so many of the theatrics that Madonna had. I was watching it and I was cracking up because I'm like, oh my God, Priya does that. Oh, Priya does that.
And you know what? I haven't even watched the video in like 30 years. So,
You are
It's
basically
ingrained.
a Mocha Madonna.
Aw.
You really are.
That's so sweet. That song, you have to be all in to perform that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it came out?
I mean the year, or do I
The
remember?
video. Yeah. Do you remember
I remember the
that
controversy.
experience? Yeah.
Oh boy, do I. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really like, religion wasn't in my sphere. You know, it wasn't something we talked about in high school with friends or anything. But when that video came out, it was, and the whole Sinead O'Connor, you know, ripping up the
Right. Yeah.
photo of the Pope, kind of same era, maybe within 5-7 years. But I remember the huge controversy. Yeah, for sure.
What year did that come out?
The video?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 1989.
1989. Okay. Yes.
And the initial reception, the video caused significant backlash from religious groups, including the Vatican, leading to a boycott of Pepsi, which had used the song in a commercial that aired just one day prior.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they ended up dropping her.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, interesting to think about what was controversial back then, and then you look at what goes on now. And
do you not think
it's
that
just,
video would be controversial today?
I can't see how that could be controversial when you can see all kinds of chaos just by turning on your computer or looking down at your phone.
Yeah, but people get more outraged at things that happen on TV
about religion
and singers. Yeah. No, not just about religion, but I mean, like, they get less worked up about the stupid things politicians are doing to.
Although, that just recently when Trump reposted that AI image of him as Jesus.
Doctor. He was being a doctor.
Yes,
from the Red Cross.
From the Red Cross.
Yes.
That certainly created a lot of.
That certainly did.
Now, have you also, just sidebar, have you seen the new AI creations from that image?
Oh, I sure have.
Where he kind of stands up and the robe comes off and the big, it's just like.
There are so many, like.
Yeah. Anyways, so you think that video, if it was released now, would be controversial?
100% I do.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
People like to get their knickers in a knot over things that artists do, and they are much more, I feel, they're much more vindictive and want artists to pay more than, in some ways, actually, as I'm thinking about it, some ways not. Like the whole Kanye, recently, the controversy around Kanye West, where he was supposed to headline a festival in the UK, and now he's banned from entering the UK, and that festival had to cancel.
Yeah.
He's also being considered of being banned in some other European countries. He's had other concerts canceled, but then at the same time, he's had artists like Lauryn Hill and CeeLo Green and Travis Barker perform with him in Los Angeles. So it's like, that's weird. But in some ways, people will hold actors and artists more to task than they will the politicians who are actually in charge of making our lives better. So,
okay, so if this video was released by another artist other than Madonna, you think that would still be the case?
Yeah, I think if like Sabrina, for example, if she released it, I still think there would be some controversy. She courts a fair bit of controversy with the way she dresses in her videos, even though her lyrics are so cheeky that I don't think people listen to the lyrics. They just want to criticize the content of what they see.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I would see this video being as controversial, but I do think it's stood the test of time.
I think a lot of 80s videos have, and we've talked about a lot of the great ones, and there are so many others we could talk about. But in terms of Madonna, Vogue, that video.
Oh, yeah.
Like that launched an entire dance craze. Maybe, well, so did Beat It. So did Thriller.
The thing with that was that it's not that it launched a dance craze. What it did was it brought light to
again from the underground cultures.
Like this is voguing was something that was happening, and it was what the cool people were doing
in the drag community, wasn't it? Was it part of the,
I think in like
club?
Probably the cool bars in New York or something.
Yeah, it was
like
the club or the drag community. Going back to Thriller for 1 second, though, I will say that I took a Thriller dance class.
Oh, God.
With Scott and Kelsey and another friend about 25 years ago. It was just to learn that choreography pre-Halloween.
You and
so
Scott and Kelsey did a lot of dance classes.
We did a lot of fun. We did a lot of fun things together when they were here. And I, do you know how he kind of sinks into his hip in that choreography?
Oh, and that's how
That is how my hip bursitis developed.
Right, yes. It's all Michael Jackson's fault.
It's all Michael Jackson's fault.
Because this is Thriller.
Bum, bum.
Thriller night.
It's a beast with 40 eyes, girl. Thriller.
I can't get that high.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before our timer goes off, do we have any other things?
I feel like we should do another episode on the worst 80s videos, because I'm just going to leave this one here for you all to watch and enjoy. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, yeah. You've talked about this one before with the creepy kids.
Insanity.
Yeah.
And the other one I've talked about that just makes me mad, Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush.
Yeah.
That's not a video. That's just that's just self-satisfying bullshit. It's just them hugging and the camera going around them and around them and around them, right? Ugh, so annoying.
When you were looking up your research, did Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel come up? That came up on so many different lists.
Yeah, and a few other ones like I Want My MTV. Was that the same song, Sledgehammer, I Want My MTV?
No. I Want My MTV's
Radio
completely
killed
different group.
Video killed the radio star. Yeah. There were a lot in the 80s and some such cool videos. And now I find that a lot of people don't watch videos. Like whenever I see a cool new video, I don't even go searching them out. But if I hear about one, I'll go and watch it. And then I'll say, hey, Danielle, have you seen the video for such and such? She goes, oh, I don't watch music videos.
Yeah. Well, where would people get that? I guess YouTube. Just on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I think that's where they drop.
Well, what's a good music video right now?
Right now? I don't even know, because how would you... There's no charts. There used to be when MTV launched, they would have charts for the best songs, but also the videos. And now it's just people just release them online. Mm-hmm. I have heard that song that we listened to, Drop Dead by Olivia Rodrigo. Mm-hmm. She filmed it at Versailles.
Okay.
The Palace Versailles in Paris. So that is apparently supposed to be a really cool video.
Okay.
So maybe we can check that out.
All right.
But folks, what are some of the videos that you find are groundbreaking or, really stick out in your brain? Maybe they're not from the 80s. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're from other eras, but we would love to hear.
We'd love to hear some of the 80s ones.
We really do. Yeah.
For this episode, send us your your favorite 80s videos, whether they're your favorite because they're so bad or they're so good. And how can they do that, Priya?
Oh, well, I feel like you know how to do that while I look something up.
Okay. You can send those into us through email at lifeisinthelyrics@gmail.com, or you can slide into our DMs on the Insta. That's The Little Podcast on Instagram.
That's right.
All right.
I think we should sing out with Vogue. Just the Greta Garbo,
Anne Monroe, Dietrich and DiMaggio, Marlon Brando, Jimmy Dean. On the cover of a magazine, Grace Kelly, Harlow, Jean, picture of a beauty queen. Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, dance on there.